jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Man, that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, subscribe.
Big shout out and salute to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official. No negotiation needed, period. You understand me? You heard? We don't need anybody else co-signing. I got the hottest chat in the game, man. Ain't no carnival circus and over here people are educated within the combat realm of boxing, and they sit up here and talk. They talk and goddamn cook that hot grease. You understand me? Shout out to Carlos Rosado the first in the building. WCS salute to the hottest chat in the MFing game. I appreciate you there, Carlos. Appreciate you, big dog. Mr. International Toby Bartlett is in the building. Salute WCS and the number one undisputed hottest chat on the YTC. We're global, baby. We're global. Even Short Bus Rolly noticed the Diddy effect. Toby coming here just throwing all the hot grease over everywhere. People burning up, getting first degree burns. Why, man? It's only Monday, though. It's only Monday. Why would you do that? People have to go to work. You know they're going to have to wear those burns entire work week, bro. Have some consideration. Okay, Toby, have some consideration, man. They coming into work with all them bandages on there because they got too close to the hot grease, dog. Sammy on deck, what's good? I see you in the building. Salute W says this is just hilarious. Rolly robbed a 99-year-old man for his belt. And Ryan is way overrated. Make this fight happen. Listen, I'm surprised you even said 99, for real. Come on, man. You know what they told us in math class. You got to round that up, dog. You got to round that up. You put him right at you put him right at 99, man. You know that man 127 and a half years old. Stop playing, man. When you saw that picture up there, I say this got to be generational. They got to be family. You know what I'm saying? He looked like, Rolly's Cuban and everything. I say, that's family right there. Stop playing, man. Arnold Brown is in the building. What's good with the salute WCS and the hottest MF and chat in the game? I appreciate you, brother. No negotiations needed. You already know. Shout out to the GOAT, Big Blunts and Boxing in the building. What's good with the Blunts on deck? Mike is in the building. What's good with it? Salute to you, bro. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, the OG. What's good with it, Bruce? How you feeling, man? Mr. Golden, the OG in the building. Salute to you, Mr. Golden. What's good, man? How you feeling today, bro? One love to everybody that's in the chat. So we got past that. We're going to get to Ryan. We're going to get to Ryan because he's the main topic. Ryan Garcia has been criticized by his former nemesis. I thought they was cool now. I thought they was cool. Seriously, I thought they was cool now. Because I'm gonna go into that. You already know. I'm going. I'm not gonna drop too much grease early. I'm gonna get to this topic. I am gonna get to this topic, but I just want to serenade the chat with a little something because, it was hilarious hearing Roller Romero of all people provide his critique for his old nemesis, and I just don't understand like what's going on with this new generation. Even on the YTC, they do the same thing that Roller Romero did and Ryan Garcia. They get mad, call each other bitches, this and that on freaking line, and then they make up. And then when it comes time for them to make money, they want to act like they enemies. But really they frenemies behind the scene. Really they kicking it. You know what I'm saying? It's time for Rolly to try to build up the fight. You know what I'm saying? Rolly's out here fresh off bus number 6. Fresh off bus number 6. You know what I'm saying? The 9th row in the back with the helmet belts on it. You know what I'm saying? It come with helmets already attached to the bus seats. You know what I'm saying? The new improved, support system they got in there. Titanium braces to keep you in the seat so you won't be hanging out the window, open the emergency exit, all that shit. Rolly's up here providing critiques for somebody. He has the audacity, okay? We're going to get back to you, Rolly. But I gotta cook Ryan Garcia. I got to cook Ryan Garcia some more. Because, I come in and at first, I just don't lay it thick on him. I just don't take that hot grease and pour it on him. And no, he got some little bruises that he got from Oscar. Though minimum, he did get some bruises. But I just want to touch on something that I seen. Okay? I want to touch on something. I gave it my own little name. You know what I'm saying? My own little name. You know what I'm saying? The Shozy Ozy Posy. Look at the Shozy Ozy Posy. He's doing his thing. Look at the Shozy Ozy Posy. They call him the king. Look at the Shozy Ozy Posy. Out the ring. Look at the Shozy Ozy Posy. And 23, this is the Shozy Ozy Posy. And by the king, look at the Shozy Ozy Posy. Taught by TMT, look at the Shozy Ozy Posy. In the ring, look at the Shozy Ozy Posy. He's doing his thing, look at the Shozy Ozy Posy. Defensively, look at the Shozy Ozy Posy. And 23, check out the Shozy Ozy Posy. He's doing his thing, look at the Shozy Ozy Posy. They call him the king. Check out the Shozy Ozy Posy. Diddy James, look at the Shozy Ozy Posy. Taught from TMT. Check out the Shozy Ozy Posy. Check out the Shozy Ozy Posy, y'all. Ryan Garcia, I had to provide you with a name there. I had to be descriptive in providing you. That ain't the shoulder roll, homie. That's the Shozy Ozy Posy. It ain't no way in hell. That's a shoulder roll. It's no way that Floyd is going to show you something and ask you to reciprocate it over and over again, and that is a product that he got. He should have told you, hey, check this out. Hold off on that because people saw you over here TMT, and it's not going to look right. Hold off on that. But he came in there doing the Shozy Ozy Posy. He was goddamn sticking his Shozy up there. He was turning his back, giving you the Ozy, and then he was just standing there waiting for Duarte to give him, say, what are you going to do, man? Damn, you going to hit me in the back of the head? Ryan up there with his whole back turn. You know what I'm saying? The whole back turn to dang Oscar Duarte, bro. And then the referee's going to warn him from hitting in the back of the head. You damn near turn your back on him, bro. That's the Shozy Ozy Posy. It ain't nothing. Look, King. When you want to call yourself Super King now, right? King. You was doing the Shozy Ozy Posy. Stick with it. Make it your own. Now fighters can come in there and expect you to do some funky defensive, Shozy Ozy Posy that's supposed to be your shield. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be protecting yourself. I get it. But I just had to give that name to rhyme with a little melody because he's doing the showsy ozy posy. Inside the ring, look at the showsy ozy posy. Outside the ring, look at the showsy ozy posy. They call him the king, the showsy ozy posy nosy. Inside the ring, posy ozy showsy ozy. That's how goofy that look. Look at the posy showsy ozy. Inside the ring, he did the ozy showsy posy. Man, please, you can't sit on here and take all this serious, dog. You can't. Ryan want to come in here and do the showsy ozy posy. And try to sell it like it's the freaking shoulder roll, people. In 23, he doing the showsy ozy posy. Hey, man. Hey, don't be mad at me. I had to put them in blur. I had to blur that shit out so nobody can. I don't want no amateurs. I don't want no professionals just starting out. I don't want you to look at these guys doing something and think that's what you need to implement into your freaking technique or your cachet, freaking the sweet signs, the cachet of the sweet signs. Don't do it. Don't implement the showsy ozy posy in there. That ain't the shoulder roll, brother. That ain't the shoulder roll. When you turn your back damn near to your opponent and you want to complain about getting hit in the back of the head, you know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. The referee, you got to do better than that. But let me move on. Once again, Teofimo Lopez has made it perfectly clear that he wants to fight sometime in the near future. He wants to fight Terrence Bud Crawford. Now, of course, I have a lot to talk about this, and I will make sure I get back to it after I get off Rolly. After I dip Rolly in this house, you know what I'm saying, I will get back to that, okay? Now, for Rolando Romero, this is the most hilarious part of this whole thing. Do you remember that fight that you had in Connecticut when you went in there against Jackson Mariñez? Do you remember that fight? See, they give you a pass because they do that for special people. When you stepped in there against Jackson Mariñez August 2020, that was during the pandemic, you know what I'm saying? And you went in there and took advantage, you know what I'm saying? And fought for the WBA interim world light title. And the judges had the scores 116, 112, 118, 110, and 115, 113. Those judges' names was Glenn Feldman, Frank Lombardi, and Don Trella. Now, both of them should have been penalized, suspended, and their license suspended along with them for basically robbing Jackson Mariñez of getting that WBA interim world title. He clearly outboxed you that night. Sure did. And then, not only that, people, when Rolly Romero won that fight August 2020, he went back in January of 2021 to the same spot. Let me show you the referees. John Callis. The judges. Ken Easel, 60-51. Don Trella, once again, and Steve Weisfeld. You know who they are. Very well known. He knocked them out in the 7th round. And then he went in there against Anthony Yigit and knocked him out in the 7th round. You know what I'm saying? So right now, you know what I'm saying, Rolly is doing his thing, so to speak. Rolly is doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? He has no losses up to that point. And as Rolly brags, Rolly was up here telling everybody he is the fighter. What did he say? He's the one fighter to win a championship with it had to do with his amateur experience. You know what I'm saying? Because when he fought Gervonta Davis, he was 14-0. So Rolly said some shit like he was the quickest to earn a world championship when that's not true, because that's why they was attempting the fast track for Vasil Lomachenko when he went in there against Orlando Salido and the shit didn't work out. So he ended up winning his 3rd professional bout. But neither here nor there, you know, he was bragging about how quick he was able to get the title. You know what I'm saying? At 14 professional fights. And, you know, and he kind of compared his route to a title almost similar to Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez legitimate had a title eliminator, and he went in there and fought Richard Comey for a legitimate world title. As if Rolly, he was gifted an interim title by a decision when he fought Jackson Mariñez. Now, moving forward, when he fought Gervonta Davis, man, we already heard the trash talk. We heard all of it. We heard everything he had to say, bro. That he was going to knock him out, that this, that, and the other. I mean, look, it was people buying into Rolly being able to go in there and knock Tank out. When Rolly checked in, right, on fight night, he was big, real big. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Tank hasn't been in the ring with big dudes, but Rolly was huge. You know what I'm saying? He had rehydrated real nice. Seriously. And he went in there telling people he was going to knock Tank out in the first round. And when the bell rung, it was almost like Rolly was walking on glass. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to cut his feet. He was walking so gingerly. He didn't want to engage in that Baltimore beast, that gorilla. He didn't want none of that. He didn't want none of King Kong, early in the round. He started picking it up as the fight went along. And all Tank did was pretty much set him up, gave him a false sense of hope that he was doing something, boxing off the back foot, moving. And then finally when, Rolly had landed some combinations early in the fight, in the 6th round, he started getting brave. And that's when he went in there with his chin on a kite string, right? And he just walked in there. I guess the breeze was at his back. And he just blew open the front door, and goddamn Gervonta Davis shot that motherfucker, period, with his face on it, period. That's all that happened. He was feeling himself. The breeze was at his back. The door blew open. He thought he was just going to walk in there, and Tank shut the door on him, slammed it. And the rest is history. He went out in 6 rounds, right? That was at 135 pounds lightweight. All of a sudden, we get news that we didn't think was true. He was going to fight at 140 pounds for the WBA World Super Light vacant title, right? A lot of us couldn't believe it. Like, how can this happen? How can this happen in the sport of boxing in a real division? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about in one of the hottest active divisions. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we just had Josh Taylor was undisputed at that division. So when all these fighters are waiting for the titles to come off so they can fight for one, who would have known that it's possible for a fighter like Rolly Romero, 14-0, when he stepped in there with Gervonta Davis, to get knocked out, unable to make the referees count, right? Then he gets immediate title. No warm-up, no tune-ups, no nothing. He gets an immediate bout for a title at 140 pounds. Travesty. Absolutely preposterous, yo. Absurd. And it ended up being true. But the first opponent ended up dropping out. And then here come Ismael Barroso. You know what I'm saying? They found him deep in the Egyptian pyramids. He was the ruler. He was a freaking king over there or something. And the man had been ruling for over 100 years. And they say, hey, Your Honesty, we would like to know if you want to, fulfill your dream of boxing for a world title. And he accepted. So on 2 weeks' notice, they flew him over there from the pyramids all the way over here to face Rolando Romero. And obviously, they knew something over there. Obviously, man, they was feeding him well. He was getting the best food, all of that. Dude was strong as shit. Dude was strong. Like, they had the fountain of youth over there, bro. Real talk. I want to know what he was drinking. You know what I'm saying? I want to know what his parents' lineage is. How they took care of their bodies and everything. Because when he came over here and started fucking up Rolly Romero, that shit was hilarious, man. That shit was hilarious, man. He was goddamn had Rolly doing the 2-step on his back, the centipede, goddamn the new freaking Memphis slide, all that shit. Rolly was fumbling all over the ring and shit. And then, Tony Weeks, he thought his night was going to be easy. He said, you know what? This is going to be an easy fight. 2 weeks notice? Rolly's gonna go in here and knock this dude out. No, no. See, this fight, to be honest, happened in May of 23. When the bell rang, Barroso had different plans. He knew he had to get back over to the damn, the temple, the pyramids. He wasn't trying to stay over here too long. So when he started hitting Rolly upside the head, Rolly's up there with his tongue hanging out his mouth, and he was hearing Christmas bells already. You know what I'm saying? He was hearing Christmas bells already. That shit went 9 rounds. Rolly Romero was hearing Christmas bells, and it wasn't even December yet, dog. And then he started praying to himself, and people's like, hey, you need to make a confession. I can bring a priest up to the ringside for you if you want to make a confession. You know what I'm saying? That you about to quit? Let the priest know so he can pray for you, because you're going to goddamn get thrashed out there in the media now. No, I just want to ask that you can pray for me that Tony Weeks will save me. Just have Tony Weeks save me. Don't tell nobody, okay? Yeah, have Tony Weeks save me. And then his prayer was answered. Tony Weeks overheard him confessing to the bishop. You know what I'm saying? Confessing that all he needed was to be saved again. And Tony Weeks answered his prayer and saved that man from the prince himself, because he was about to hand him a second straight loss and make some people look stupid. Let's get down to the idiocy. It's not even a word. The idiotic. You know what I'm saying? The idiotic part of Rolly Romero, and that's a surplus. A lot of people laugh at Rolly Romero because they feel like he's a different, special type of dude. You know what I'm saying? He's partially rehabbed. When it comes to the psychological system, I'm gonna use that word, rehabbed, instead of the other word now. You know what I'm saying? But me, I'm looking at this, right? Rolly, who are you to speak on another person when you was gifted 2 straight championship fights? Listen to me. All of you all who co-sign and always being nice to Rolly, how can you sit up there and be fake about it without telling him the truth? Nobody's going to remember you except you was gifted 2 championship belts. You was gifted 2 championship belts, and it wasn't even Christmas yet. And both of those title bouts had you hearing jingle bells, jingle all the way. Slipped that punch, ran into the next one, down I go all day. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I couldn't make the count. I took a loss again. Oh well. I had my prayer answered. Here comes Tony Weeks to save the day. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rolly Romero for getting the exclusive interview, because they love running the Rolly. And I'm going to let you listen to Rolly Romero's freaking interview that he recently did. And I want you all to just understand that they allow this man to get away with that nonsense. You feel me? They allow him to talk shit about other fighters when he is beyond mediocre, subpar, marginal. People let Rolly get away because they're babysitting him, man. They babysit him. They want him to take a picture. Why? That's not a picture that's ever gonna fetch more than $2.17, bro. I don't care if anybody custom painted and he signed it. It'll only probably bring up the freaking price to a nickel or 2. Listen what he had to say.
Good Duarte in 8 rounds.
And this is Fight Hype.
Bruh,
Shout out to Fight Hype.
I hope he don't try to do that shoulder roll shit again. That's all I can say.
What did you not like about the shoulder roll?
It just wasn't him. It just wasn't him.
Let me show you. Let me remind y'all of how Rolly is one of the biggest hypocrites, and just because he has a goofy look on his face and a laugh, people let him get away with it. Go back to when he fought Tank Davis. Go back. He was trying to do the shoulder roll too. How can you sit up here and criticize a man for something you look goofy at doing yourself? You didn't even practice. You wasn't even freaking thorough with it. You wasn't even thorough with the shoulder roll, bro. You know what I'm saying? Barroso didn't give you a time to do the shoulder roll. You know what I'm saying? He was helping you work on your tumbling skills. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to have a new routine. So he was helping you work on your tumbling skills for the 2024 Olympics in gymnastics or something, because you was all in them ropes. For real, you was all in them ropes once again. You was in them ropes when Tank hit you coming in. You was in them ropes when Dijon, would freaking drop you in sparring. And then once again, you know what I'm saying, when freaking the grand old man of boxing, Barroso, hit you, you was in them ropes again. You know what I'm saying? But you want to talk about Ryan Garcia doing the shoulder roll when you was up here trying to do the exact same thing, and it didn't look like you remediated enough there, Rolly.
It felt like he was trying to be something he wasn't. I don't know. Maybe he learned something in camp that worked maybe a little bit in camp, but didn't work out in the fight.
And you know this is everything that happened to him with the Tank fight. You know what I'm saying? He did a lot in camp that didn't work in the fight. The only thing worked for Rolly is that he had a little bit of power to the point where Tank said, I'm just gonna delay this a little bit. I'm gonna delay, and then I'm gonna cook him later. That's all. He had a little bit of mustard. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of wasabi on that. And Tank said, you know what? Okay, I felt this power a little bit. Let me chill, because I'm not gonna give him the moment that he's looking for with me. I'm not gonna do it. So I'm gonna let him burn off some steam, and then I'm gonna send him into the front door.
Well, I mean, what do you think would be the better route to go? Like the high guard on the inside, or what do you mean when you say like it's not him being him? And yeah.
Well, I don't know. He would always just fight like this and then throw hooks, no? But no, he's over here thinking he's like Floyd Mayweather or some shit. I don't know. Like Derek James taught him some weird shit.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong though. Isn't that didn't he give his back sometimes when in your sparring session?
Yeah, but I mean, at least he'll do it with hands up, like not like this,
I mean, I don't know, because Derek James is. Did you see some of the improvements from Derek James though? Like more of the jab, more distance control.
So if you look at this video, all you got to do is put in Rolly Romero rips Ryan Garcia in exclusive response to call out. Says worse and KO him in 25 seconds. Okay, I'm just putting it out there. Rolly saying 25 seconds he'll KO Ryan. If they ever fight, I got Ryan Garcia freaking in that fight, winning that fight between him and Rolly. Hands down, period. You know what I'm saying? When I have that selection process between Garcia and Romero, yeah, it's Garcia, bro. Because that shit is old. I think the one who's made slight improvement in their boxing skill is freaking Ryan Garcia. Real talk.
The lead hand.
I don't know. I think Derek James is you know how like all these fighters or trainers are like, oh, they get trainer of the year and then they're the worst trainer for like the next 3 years. I mean, he has a pretty bad track record. I mean, he made Ryan 10 times worse.
So he, Rolly can sit up here. I wonder what backlash he's gonna get, if any. He said he made the Showzy Posey King Ryan 10 times worse. I totally disagree, and a lot of other people disagree with this. You know what I'm saying? Whatever he's saying, Rolly, because I want to know who he accredit his performances to. And later on in this, you're gonna hear what excuses that he had. But at this point in the interview, which is 1 minute and 53 seconds in, because it's only a 12-minute vid, he's playing with his vehicle keys. He's playing with his vehicle keys right now. I mean, his attention span, I don't know. I mean, maybe you put that brain in a bird, that shit fly backwards into a motherfucking bus. I don't know, bro.
He fucked up Spence's career. Anthony Joshua.
So, Rolly, you're saying that Diddy James effed up Spence's career, but up to when he fought Crawford, you wasn't going for Crawford, right? You wasn't going for Crawford. I could have sworn you wasn't going for Crawford. Truth be told, you wasn't going for Crawford. How did he F up anybody's career? You know what I'm saying? They chose to be, a team, so to speak. They chose. So if that man was undefeated, 28 victories all the way up to he fought Crawford, and he was defeated, how did Diddy James? You gotta be more detailed in this now. I'm not disagreeing with you, but if you're gonna say that, you need to be more detailed on how he messed up Spence's career. Plus, you need to understand that you're criticizing Ryan, and you're basically additioning Derrick James to pretty much being the reason why he looks 10 times worse, which that just sound like you a hater.
I mean, go after Joshua, and Frank Martin ain't looking too good. So yeah, maybe it's time for him to go back to like Joe Goosen or something.
Well, what he did call you out basically after the fight. Like that's the fight he would like to have next. What'd you think about that?
I don't think he deserves it.
So this is why these guys, and shout out to Fight Hype, it's not them per se, but when you can have somebody like Rollies tell you anything that's goofy, talk shit, people just look at it as being comedic. They look at it in a nice jovial way. It's nothing serious about it. It's lighthearted. It's frivolous at the end of the way. At the end of the day, it's innocuous. Don't take it so serious, man. You're over. But then somebody else come out there with a different name and say that a certain person don't deserve a fight. They take it to heart, man. It's all over the headlines. So I say don't deserve a fight. Don't deserve a fight. He said that Ryan doesn't deserve a fight with him. Look. He said Ryan doesn't deserve a fight with him. Rolly is definitely a cracked walnut for real.
I don't think he deserves it.
Why does he not deserve it? A fight with you, Rolly?
I mean, I don't think he deserves it. That's why I say I don't think he deserves it.
See, with all these wars, you know what I'm saying? These internal exchanges that happen on the YTC, the friction, you know what I'm saying? The back and forth contentiousness goes on all the time. I just don't see y'all sitting up here holding this guy accountable. Rolly can get on here and say anything with a smile on his face, and nobody freaking, put his ass in the motherfucking oven. Dip him in the hot grease, man. This dude say anything. Just the mere fact that he said Ryan Garcia don't deserve to be in there with him. Just based off the fact on how he got the title. He's a fool. He's up to foolish antics, and he don't care about it because he feels like people are always going to treat him like he's a special little kid. You know what I'm saying? They have to keep on telling him, hey, let me hold your hand. I don't want you running into the street now. Okay? Mommy, Daddy, can you build me a treehouse? We would love to. But you know why we can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Just like last time. You was jumping from the dang second floor into the dang floor below, and you really caused some serious damage. And CPS almost freaking took you into freaking state custody. Almost, they almost freaking took you away from the family. We can't have that. You know what I'm saying? You can't be jumping off tables. Jumping off the front porch into the rose bush. And tell me, I don't know why I'm bleeding. What is wrong? I didn't feel anything. Got to go to the hospital and remove shit out your skin because you was up there being goofy. You know what I'm saying? Telling little kids, hey, playing in the street, you get hit by a car, man, it's not going to matter because, you know what I'm saying, the car is moving, we're not. So when we get hit, that's why they have bumpers. Okay, it's not going to be that bad, okay? All right, the worst thing, you can get a scrape. It's not going to be, this is the neighborhood. There's nobody speeding down the neighborhood. Okay, you get hit, you roll over into the yard on the soft grass, man. Y'all take shit so serious. You know what I'm saying? That's Rolly, bro.
He might be the biggest draw in the division. So is that
I,
not
I
enticing?
understand that, bro, yeah, but I don't think he deserves it. He does not deserve to share a ring with him.
See, here we go again. He's saying that Ryan doesn't deserve to share a ring with him. Goofball shit. This is straight up goofball. This is goofball. This is him and true. Look, I don't mind a fighter having a sense of humor. I don't. I real talk. Boxing is serious in itself. Just the whole training aspect. You know what I'm saying? The rigors and sacrifice that you have to go through. All that. The time and effort that you put into it. I don't mind a personality. But these cats really don't hold. Even this guy doing the interview is taking that light on him. Like he's not saying, dude, what the hell are you talking about? Why are you sitting up here saying those things? No, man, that's not cool. You're not making any sense, man.
Based on what? What would have to break this down for me?
Okay, so there we are, right? So the bell rings, right? And Brett makes it touch gloves, all this stuff, all that stuff, right? We go in, right? Over here in a high guard, right? He over here doing some shoulder roll shit. I just throw a hook, boom, knocked out, cold. Good night.
He said that him and Ryan touch gloves. They start the fight, and it's a high guard, whatever visual he's trying to frame for y'all, and he throws a hook and the fight's over with. You're talking about a guy who, look, this is how goofy Rolly is, right? And once again, this is nothing personal. This is boxing. This is how goofy Rolly is. He has to understand that him and Ryan was both hit with the left hook. Both of them, right? From being overzealous, right? And someone was doing the little twitch when they got up from that left hand and couldn't make the count. When Ryan actually got up from the left hand, but was stopped from a body shot. So who has the bragging rights? Hey, Ryan has the bragging rights. Real talk. He has the bragging rights. Even though both of y'all were stopped, he got up from a flush left hand. He got up from a flush left hand, bro. You got up too, but you was still discombobulated, confused. Didn't know what planet you was on. You know what I'm saying? Talking about you had property over the Mars. You know what I'm saying? You're just waiting for them to close on it so you can move up there by yourself.
Just like that. Demon, maybe a good 25 seconds.
With that in mind, why wouldn't you want to take a fight that you think you could make a lot of money for in 25 seconds?
Like I said, honestly, I don't even want to be at 40 anymore. I want to be at 47. There's a lot of big names at 47 I want.
Like who? Like who would you like to fight at 47? Not the Errol Spence.
See, this is gonna get interesting, y'all. I'm gonna let this marinate because he switched the subject when asked why wouldn't you want to make a lot of money if you could plan on knocking out somebody in 25 seconds, which is a very intellectual question, which didn't receive the type of answer that we would want. You know what I'm saying? From Rolando Romero. You know what I'm saying? So he wanted to say he wanted to move up to 147. He wanted to move to 147. So let's talk about 147. So he's gonna talk about, moving up to 147, and then check out what happens next. Only vintage Rolly now
Has moved up.
Oh, so he's not going to fight at 47? Why? Because I thought he was going to rematch Crawford at 47. So he was lying.
I don't recall him saying he would fight.
I don't know. I heard somebody tell me that. So maybe I'm wrong about hearing that, but I thought he was.
So wait. So Rolly is turning down the Ryan Garcia fight. Is that what's happening?
Nah, I'm fucking around.
See, the whole interview, which was close to 5 minutes, he said he's effing around. That's all I'm going to share on that, because he want to say he's effing around, but it's real boxing fans that pay attention to fight hype. And this is a goofy interview. I mean, it's bound to happen when you interview somebody like him on serious subjects. and he just say what he want to say because he don't care about what people think about him. Real talk, he don't care. Let me get to this chat right quick. Hill on deck. What's good? Salute WCS. The guy Barroso that fought Rolly in their vacant title fight said he has a son that's 30, but BoxRec has Barroso age listed at 42. Man, Barroso, man, he's well over 100 years old, man. Come on, bro. They grabbed him out the goddamn temples, man. He was in the pyramids, man. That man was ruling the whole freaking country over there and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? He had a royal dynasty. He just came over here for 2 weeks to make a little bit of money, and then he gave it out for charity when he got back to the temples, man. Please. He wasn't worried about that little change he made. He said, I told you I was gonna donate. I was gonna come back with money. He got them threw that money out, shit. People scrambling around. Say, hey, I love you. I love my people. That was pocket change to him, bro. Wasn't worried about that. Ryan did the shoulder roll with his whole back turned and cowering like he was scared. That's the showsy posy, dog. You ain't before. He got the showsy posy. Come on, that's the showsy posy. Dude, we never seen nothing like that. Look, they let that man walk out the gym, knowing that he was turning his whole back around and trying to keep his chin aligned with his left shoulder so he can see the punches coming so he can counter. No, you should have left that in the gym. I'm talking about in the mirror, back in the locker room. You should have practiced it a lot more, over and over again in the mirror. And you shouldn't have brought that out to the ring until you have mastered whoever was teaching you that. You know what I'm saying? For real. Ryan did the shoulder roll with his whole back turn. You know what I'm saying? The showsy posy. You ain't lying, bro. That's the showsy posy. That ain't no shoulder roll. There's nowhere in hell that's a shoulder roll. I thought when a fighter turned his back on another fighter, he is giving up. Well, you know, this is the Ryan Garcia who just went up here and made like 30 mil with Tank. So he came back in this fight where, you know, they was gonna allow him. I don't know. Like I said before, I wonder if the whole beef between Golden Boy and B-Hop was real or just to bring more attention to the fight itself. You know what I'm saying? Like, he keep on talking about they betting on him to lose. You know what I'm saying? They betting on him to lose. Why do you keep on saying that? Like, he seemed more disgruntled than he was, you know what I'm saying, previously. Like, you talk about mental health and everything. You just got 30 mil, but you seem like you mad and angry. You know what I'm saying? You seem like you just miserable. But yet you talk about have Jesus Christ in your life, right? Isn't when you hear the Christians talk, because I was raised Baptist, right? When you hear them speak, you're supposed to speak about it like that faith is uplifting and everything. It's supposed to be joyful to you. But Ryan Garcia is busy talking about all this negativity, but yet he's trying to convince people that, oh, Jesus Christ is in my life. Brother, if Jesus Christ is in your life, first and foremost, don't he supposed to bring a smile to your face? Don't he supposed to make you happy? I don't know who's fronting, man. I don't know who's fronting. Seriously. I don't know what's being fronted on, who's doing, you know. It seems like you doing the fronting. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's your promotions doing the fronting. Something ain't right, bro. Because you keep on mentioning Jesus Christ, but yet you seem like you're miserable. Like Jesus Christ is just a quote that you put out there, but yet you like truly not believing in him. Because I hear Christians all the time when they speak, they kind of speak, you know what I'm saying, with an uplifting tone to their voice. You know what I'm saying? It seems like they can really feel the Holy Spirit affecting them. I don't know what spirit's affecting you, but you don't seem happy, bro. Don said Teofimo gonna get his head knocked off. Hey, man, we're gonna get on T.O. next because he's making his rounds and he wants people to believe that he wants that Omaha monster. Rolly lost to Morgan Freeman. Oh my God, I accept it. Hey, I accept it. I accept it. Please put that in the vault, please. Rolly lost to Morgan Freeman. Hilarious, dog. God damn. So they saying Morgan Freeman, one of the older actors in the game. Don't lock the doors, John. Open the doors now. Don't lock the doors. Come here. Y'all gonna listen to me one way or the other. I'm 116 years old. When I say lean on me, I need you to lean on me now. I can't stand up no more. Andrew Charles, what's good with it? How you feeling, man? One love, brother. Rebel on deck, I see you. What's good? Shaw News, the Sauce Experience, AK Showtime, Shaw on deck. Team Tucker Official in the building. What's good with it, brother? For real, he was turning his back. Man, I don't know, man. The showsy ozy posy. I'm gonna put that shit out on IG too, man. God damn it. He doing the showsy ozy posy. In the ring. Yeah, he's doing the showsy ozy posy. That ain't no shoulder roll. That's the showsy ozy posy. You know what I'm saying? He did his own thing. He didn't learn that from Derrick James. He learned that from TMT. You know what I'm saying? Somebody over TMT taught him the showsy ozy posy. Hey, we got something. We don't have a shoulder roll yet, but at least you got something. So go out there and show them. It'll work a little bit. It'll work a little bit. That's all we want. We want you to use it under the lights so you can get better and better at it, okay? But, you know, when you know, Rolly was up there trying to do the shoulder roll, bro. For real. Hey, take a look at the Jackson Marinez fight. Take a look at the Jackson Marinez fight. That is one of the most ugliest shoulder rolls that you will see. Take a look at the Jackson Marinez fight. He didn't even know how to when to do the shoulder roll. He was way across the ring. His opponent wasn't even close enough to engage him, and he was trying to do the shoulder roll. Oh my God, it was horrible. It was horrible. What Canelo said about Demetrius Andrade? You're a horrible fighter. Yeah, that shoulder roll was horrible, bro. Real talk. They say he's special. Yeah, Rolly's special, man. I don't like talking ill will about him because he did do me a favor when I was in NYC. You know what I'm saying? These fighters don't take it. They can talk all the shit they want about other fighters. But one thing that irks me about Rolly, he's always calling somebody ugly. You know what I'm saying? He's always calling somebody ugly. You know, if me and him was to ever have a roast section, I would roast Rolly until you want to throw hands. I would be brutal on him, man, because I don't heard him call people ugly straight up. Ugly, ugly, ugly. When a person calling other people ugly, something's wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? Something's wrong when you just willingly volunteer an insult to say someone's ugly. You know? Shout out to Neezy, Jamal Neezy in the building. What's good with it? I see you on deck, man. Jessica's in the building. Salute to you, queen. Martin King Boxing is in the building. Ron, what's up? What's good, WCS in the chat? Neezy say, hey, WCS, I received a lot of pesos for a Rolly pick. Don't come for me, bro. Hey, man. I don't know how many pesos it was, but I'm gonna tell you like this: if it was more than freaking 1.5 pesos, bro, I'm gonna have to put you on timeout for real. We have to really think and discuss some things moving forward. If you put more than a peso and a half, we have to discuss some things. You know what I'm saying? We have to really discuss some things moving forward. That's just not what's in the plan, man. That violates the policies that we have in the hottest chat in the game. We can't be out here sneaking trying to get autographed pictures of Rolly. You know what I'm saying? No, we can't do that, bro. We gotta let him know that, bro, you the only fighter in history. If you want to talk about history, you're the only fighter in history that was damn near gifted 2 championship belts in two different weight divisions. And to add on to that, you're the only fighter to introduce the Showsy Ozy Posy. No one never knew it existed. You know what I'm saying? You really was the first one against Jackson Mariñez there, Rolly. For everyone who wants to look at it, he did the Shozy Ozy Posey too. This was ugly. Look at the Jackson Mariñez fight. You say, huh? What? The hell is that? The referee should goddamn take a point for that. Form all off. Form is all off. I swear I don't see how the reporter can sit there listen to his grown ass baby really enrobe it. Yeah, man, he say some goofy stuff and then turn around and say, "Oh, I was just playing." No. Because for a long time, y'all, let me give you a little backstory on Rolly. Rolly for a long time was so-called calling out Ryan Garcia. You know, they had the sparring session, but they never can get in the ring and fight one another. And then the shit never happened, right? And they became somehow friends or whatever. So much to the point where Ryan Garcia, on that infamous moment, Errol Spence and Danny Garcia was sitting down there, and Ryan supposedly went over there and bet 20,000 that Rolly beats Javante. And that's when they shook on it. And then, you know, Ryan said, "No problem, man. I get your money. Just being a goofball too." And I said, damn, they friends now? Because for a long time, it's out there on video where Rolly was calling Ryan a bitch and everything. Let's get in the ring and fight and all that. And Ryan never did it. You know what I'm saying? Ryan never stepped into the ring. Now, all of a sudden, I guess it makes sense. A nickel or a dime. I guess it's going to make sense now. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to look at it this way. What type of fighter is Ryan to go in there and make the money he did against Javante, right? But yet go in here and fight somebody like Rolly, who was gifted a title. Look, I think it's worse to be emailed the championship. I think it's worse to fight Rolly for a championship in the manner for which he got it than to receive a championship via email. Seriously. Because I'm looking at all the variables that's in place with him making all that money with Tank, and then wanting to fight Rolly Romero for a title that he was gifted from a controversial stoppage. Everybody and their mama know that he was freaking losing and he was getting his ass beat, and Tony Weeks saved him. I think that's worse for Ryan Garcia to go over there and do what he did. Do what he's asking to do, to fight Rolly for that title, than, you know, receive that shit via email. I think it's worse than that. Seriously, it's worse, man. Because you're talking about an opponent. You're talking about an opponent that you called out. You called out a guy who was just gifted another title, coming off a knockout from a lower division, and you're claiming that you're the cash cow. You're going backwards. You should call out a big name like Tio, Subriel Matias. You need to call out somebody that's really, you know, about to build up your profile, but not a Rolly just to get a belt. That's worse than a freaking email championship, bro. For real, that's worse. Because now we're putting a face to the actual championship who truly didn't win it themselves. You know what I'm saying? They was protected and the fight was called off. You know, something that we see in boxing a lot. And there's no way in hell you're going to get the respect that you want. It no matter how many times you say Jesus Christ, you seem miserable. You seem like you're trying to, you know, you want the respect of the people. You want to be able to get the respect of the people. You want to take the respect. You want to force the respect out of the people. And that's just not going to happen because you ain't fighting top level competition, bro. You fought Tank and you lost. Jones on deck, I see you, bro. What's good? Everybody knows where Rolly be on that short bus. Jones, first comment I've seen from you. Fan peace. Rolly's a real life goof troop. Hey man, both of them. You know what I'm saying? Remember, y'all, you have to hold him accountable. You have to hold Ryan Garcia accountable for the Shozy Ozy Posey. Okay, remember, hold him accountable for that shit. That's the showzy posy in the ring. He does the show. He's doing the showzy posy from TMT. He's doing the showzy posy. You know what I'm saying? Call him the king. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. Shout out to True Media Boxing Radio, coach in the building. What's good with it? Drama sells, no doubt, no doubt. Just because you believe, don't make it seem like following Jesus, you will not lose before you win. It's a whole other thing, Ryan. A whole other thing. I agree with you. You know, because come on, people. You know it makes sense. You know you know what I said. I mean, if you're gonna start, and there's nothing wrong with putting God first. Real talk. But if your faith lies with God, everything about it, that's who you are. Your faith in everything, your prayer, you want the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, to lift you up, and you telling everybody through all things put your faith in Jesus Christ, but yet you just continue to criticize people. You can continue to be mad, upset. You're feeling some type of way because you can't get what you want. What is that inner side of you that you're not getting? Because if you're saying Jesus Christ, but you're still mad and you're still calling people out, and you're talking about Oscar B Hop, bro, what's some positive stuff you got to do? You ain't smiling no more. You want to put on this brash, edgy type image now. You know what I'm saying? You trying to fit in with the culture. I mean, what are you, a bad boy now? I mean, who are you trying to emulate for real? Like, what image are you trying to uphold? It seems like the Christian, you putting Jesus first would have worked more. When you was wearing the suit coats and damn tuxedo shirts and the bow ties and everything. But right now, you wearing the sweaters, you dressing down, you trying to get more so, get your kit to blend in with the culture and everything. I get it. But looking at your face, something else is going on, bro. Something else is going on. Like, you don't even smile when you talking about Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That don't even bring a smile to your face. Right, steady screaming about Jesus, speaking ill about others out in public. Yeah, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. At the end of the day, my opinion, some religions can be the most judgmental. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's being judgmental, but he's talking crap about people. But yet he's saying, he has Jesus in his life. Okay, cool. But you just seem mad. You just seem mad. I just don't get it. I don't get where you want people to go with it. You know what I'm saying? Where do you want them to go? What are you looking for? Hold on for a second, y'all. All right, we back. So let me get Rolly off my screen. So peep this, right? Let's get back to the situation and the call out of Teofimo Lopez. I'll let Rolly, you know what I'm saying, lie where he lays. And, you know what I'm saying, Ryan Garcia with the Showzy Posey. I'm gonna let that marinate out there for him, you know, his blurred line type of defensive skill. You know what I'm saying? That has people wiping their eyes and say, oh shit, I ain't never seen nothing like that before. But let's get back to this right here. So the state of boxing is annually, right? It has an annual calendar. We know that. An annual calendar, which you say to yourself, if boxing has an annual calendar, out of 12 months, we should be able to get some quality fights per month. You know what I'm saying? It would seem that way. But when you look at the top name and the percentage of top fighters in the sport, not everyone, based off what they pay, selects to fight more than once a year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some will fight once, some is fighting twice. So you take 12 months and fight twice a year. It depends on when they fought this year and how long how many months they're going to take off until they return back to the ring. So this is the way I look at it. Sometimes boxing gets stale, man. Just like we experienced this year. It was stale. Some of the fights didn't add up. Like the Canelo Jamel Charlo fight. It wasn't more so something we was looking forward to, like Caleb Plant and David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? We was looking for Caleb Plant, David Benavidez, bro. Real talk. We was looking for them to throw down. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about when that fight actually happened, all right? When that fight actually happened, we just looking for that because they had beef with one another. The rift was real. You know what I'm saying? Caleb didn't like Benavidez. Benavidez didn't like Caleb. I mean, that's just what it was, man. So when it came down to what we experienced with a fighter moving up in weight, Demetrius Andrade, unproven at 168, the fight turned out just as we thought. You know, he was broken down and stopped, but nobody wanted to say it because Andrade is a nice dude. You know, he's not an asshole type of dude, for real. He's a goofy, you know, he has a personality, and there's nothing wrong with that when you're a fighter because when truth be told, he can box. Andrade can box, bro. He just couldn't fight when it came to him to beat David Benavidez. He needed to fight. He was boxing and he had his moments, man. Real talk. He had some frames that was in there that I was commending him for. He had some highlights. I was like, all right, cool. That's nice. But you can tell they was just bouncing off the armor. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't really doing too much to David. They looked good, but it wasn't like when David was, you know, landing his punches and the damage on breaking them down. You know, you start to see him swell up. And I even said he started to look like freaking Elroy the Third, which was freaking Errol Spence Jr. He did. They started to look alike. You know, in that fight. It was crazy. I said, damn, was that really the clone? Is the makeup coming off? Is that the Errol Spence clone in there? You know what I'm saying? Is he being exposed? Is this is this going to be a scandal? All I was thinking about is scandal. I say, oh shit, that's not really Andrade. It's a freaking Errol Spence clone. I don't know. But anyway, the fight went on. You know what I'm saying? And it ended the way it's supposed to. It really wasn't a competition, but it fizzled out. Seriously. So now we have a lot of back and forth on speculation. What we looking at? Is Crawford Spence going to fight in December? No, we found out that's not going to happen because people were going around here crying. They didn't want to see it, and it wouldn't be right for him to fight that early because of the damage he took and all that. I'm like, you know, before then he was one of the toughest guys in the boxing. Then when Crawford made him look less than, people was coming to his aid. But I guarantee you, if it would have been the other fighter who took that amount of punishment, people would be like, oh man, Crawford didn't want to fight this year. That's what he get. He took that ass when Spence beat that ass. That's what you get. Yeah, yeah. They'll be over here talking mad, confident, all that shit, bro. They would be so happy. Real talk. This is some baby shit right here. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want Spence to be healthy. We seen what happened to freaking Pritchard Colon and Jerry McLean and plenty of other fighters that just hasn't recovered. Even, what's his name from the light heavyweight division? Adonis. Boxing ain't no joke. But at the end of the day, you had people busy talking about Spence's opposition, but when his opposition destroyed him in one of the biggest fights of the year, then they want to look at it like, oh, let's come up with all these accusations. Let's continue to babysit Spence because he's the more popular fighter. Babysit so much to the point where they was riding off the fight themselves. They didn't even have enough confidence to think this man could fight this year. So now we head over to next year. The money's about to be over. We're about to head over in 2024. Once again, just like ushering in 22 to 23, we don't know too much about the fight date. Okay? So we have these challenges that's up there. We have the Scrabble board, the boxing Scrabble board that's on deck. We're trying to put together some names and words and try to link up, other fighters to this fighter to try to match make. You know what I'm saying? To do our phantom matchmaking skills outside of the ring. So we've heard about, Crawford Spence, having a contractual rematch, and we don't know when to fight it. Okay, cool. And then Canelo name comes up about freaking, who he's going to fight next. It might be Hamid McGill, but Hamid McGill has a fight coming up. And then, people calling for Benavidez and Canelo. And then, Crawford was calling out Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I want to fight the big fight. I want Canelo Alvarez. So we still want to know if Canelo's going to take either of those fights, right? So it just get a point in boxing where it just gets stale. The conversations and topics are all the same. You know what I'm saying? It just gets to the point where it becomes repetitive, right? Just because we can't pull concrete information, they're not willing to give us anything until it's properly, been signed, sealed, delivered, and they want to announce it first, or they want to deliver it to a insider or whatever to drop the information first. So as we all know, Teofimo Lopez of all people is doing what Crawford is doing, is doing what Mikey Garcia is doing, has done. You know what I'm saying? He's doing what a lot of people's done. Even Hector Luis Garcia did it. He moved up from 130 to 135. Now Teo's at 140. He want to move up and fight Terrence Crawford. I don't see a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? He's willing to meet Terrence at 147, his division. You know what I'm saying? When I hear all these other cats call out people, and it was the three that we remember, right? Two Charlos and a Spence wanted to fight Canelo. Nobody wasn't bitching and moaning. They was all like, oh man, Spence called out Canelo. Everybody was jumping up and down, clicking their heels together. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see the wizard, the wonderful. You know what I'm saying? They was hoping for that shit to come true. Now Teofimo is calling out Crawford. It's crickets. It's not even crickets, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because crickets loud as hell from a distance. Once you get up on them motherfuckers, quiet as hell. There's nothing being said about this. I think it's a good fight. Why? Because if Teo wants to step up to the 147-pound division and fight the man, why not? Who sees anything wrong with that? Because they're extremely quiet, bro. Like, you have to move up and do something. Canelo was moving up fighting people in another division, and people didn't say anything. When he fought Rocky Field, and they was like, it's for a title, though. It's for a Reggie. Okay, cool. He's doing it for a purpose. Stopped him in the third round with a body shot. Come on, man. Nobody said nothing, bro. Nobody said nothing, man. Come on, man. We have fighters move up all the time. Jesban Rodriguez moved up a couple, right? Fought for a title. Him and Carlos Kudras won. Then he defended against Sorong Fasai and then moved back down. Come on, man. Come on. Look at Naoya Inoue. Come on, bro. He just unified the bantamweight division, and in only a couple of fights at super bantamweight, he's about to go in there and fight for the freaking undisputed at 122. When MJ and freaking Stephen Fulton had the belts forever and a day and couldn't do it. But Inoue comes in there and he's about to damn fight this month for unification for undisputed. Okay, I'm just telling you how shit working. So when I hear Teofimo Lopez moving up, say he want to move up and fight Crawford, I don't have no problem with it. I would definitely like to see that fight. I don't think it's a good idea for Tio at this point, but if he chooses to challenge himself, then so be it. That's what boxing's all about. He's not worrying about the O. That's gone. So he's worrying about stepping there, challenging himself with the best. I don't see a problem with that, man. People selectively choose who they want to scrutinize when they make these call outs. You know what I'm saying? It's been people doing this forever and a day, calling out fighters and basically saying, yeah, I'm willing to challenge myself. You may not want to, but I do. I want to challenge myself. And that's what we're seeing with Tio. If he wants to go over here, if Tio wants to challenge the man himself and get that work, then let's see the fight. It's no different than Mikey Garcia. Mikey was coming up from a division lower, Tio's previous weight class, and he was coming off a championship fight. So if he came up there and got all that love, all those flowers and serenade, why not freaking, talk about Tio calling out freaking Crawford? You know what I'm saying? Because real talk, if you tell me Crawford, Canelo, I got Crawford, period. It's people going to say what they want to say. You didn't get nothing from him fighting Mel Charlo. So I got him if he fight Canelo. I got him beating Tio if Tio chooses to do it. I just look at, both of these guys are established boxers. One is just way more established, way more official, way more tougher. Boxing IQ, way more higher boxing IQ. You know what I'm saying? It's just levels to this whole entire sport. And Tio does have levels when it comes to certain aspects to his skill set. No doubt about it. Tio, one of my favorite fighters that I rock with heavy too. But Crawford is the one I rock with. If it was to, go for punch, we talking about challenging one another, it'll be a good press conference and all that. But it's nothing that Tio can come up there and start talking that shit to Crawford, like it's gonna be one of those Tony Harrison and Jermell Charlo situation. It's not gonna be trash talk like that. Even though the Lopez's talk they shit now. The Lopez's talk they shit. But let's be real. When Crawford get quiet is when you should be concerned. If he's talking, you shouldn't be concerned that much now. But when he get quiet and just give you that look, you might want to be goddamn concerned, dog. And if they make this fight in 24, which I don't think is going to happen, why? I'm going to tell you why. Because we're talking about Crawford won money fights. He won nothing but money fights. And he's worked himself into a position where he should get money fights. Seriously. He's done what he had to do. All the backstabbing, all the freaking accusations that was levied against him. You know what I'm saying? Like this was about to be, like we was about to go into litigation. Like we was about to go to trial. You know what I'm saying? To see if he was going to be indicted per the YTC lies that they were spewing out there about cheating and all that. None of that worked. But what we do know is it's a lot of fighters that want to fight him. Mario Barrios has said he wouldn't mind fighting Crawford. But Barrios is at 47 right now. Teofimo Lopez, they want to fight him. Keith Thurman, I don't know how serious he was, but he want to fight him. And then they quick to throw, Boots' name is there, want to fight him. It's plenty of fighters, but are they going to bring in the revenue for Crawford to say, okay, I'll fight you, how much I'm getting paid, because obviously he's gonna be the A side, and damn near every fight he going to be the A side except Canelo. You know what I'm saying? And even that, I have faith that Terrence would negotiate properly like he always do, because obviously he's making money. You know what I'm saying, in his negotiations, even though the saying that was out here was that he negotiated in bad faith, when him stepping away from a negotiation and revisiting that this year, he came out way more. The benefits was way higher than what it would be if PBC was actually serious about having that fight in 2022. And it's been proven that they didn't want the fight in 22. They couldn't have the fight in 2022 unless they was going to pay the fighters damn near $5 a piece to make the fight happen. Guarantee money. And they couldn't make the fight. So with that said, I think the best fight we got this year, per the background, the backstory, the records, the pound for pound, it was freaking Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Now the fight that's in the future, I'm going to tell you straight up like this. The biggest fight in the future is not Teofimo Lopez and Crawford. But like I said, I'd like to see that fight, because you have a lot of fighters that's not willing to fight each other. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of fighters just fighting some names. I don't know what the heck they doing. I don't know why they fighting these fighters. Like some fighters are being served goddamn banana pudding. You know what I'm saying? They fight a sweet, and everybody know that who's gonna win that fight. I was like, God damn. But I'll definitely like to see that fight. But I think the biggest fight still in boxing that people want to see, in my opinion, would be Crawford Canelo. That's just me. Because people want to see Crawford lose. And what better person than Canelo to go back in, check this out, for Canelo to go back in and beat a black fighter who beat him. A black fighter in Floyd Mayweather beat Canelo, right? Now you have a black fighter who's official, certified, you know what I'm saying? One of the best of this era, all-time great, right? They would want Canelo to be the one to go up there and try to put a blemish on Crawford's record, just like Floyd Mayweather did to Canelo. He was the first one to give him the blemish on his record. I'm telling you, man, people are thinking like that. They're not just looking at Crawford like, well, Crawford don't. No, we want to see Benavidez and Canelo. Yeah, it's some people out here want to see that. Real talk. It's some people out here that want to see that shit. I will look at it, no doubt. I will pay to see Benavidez Canelo. But when it comes down to legacy, when it comes down to Canelo never having the opportunity to rematch Floyd, never. You know what I'm saying? Being he was, you know, the first one to defeat Canelo Alvarez. I think deep down inside, real talk, Canelo want that revenge, man. He can't get revenge on Floyd. He want that revenge on freaking Bud. You know what I'm saying? He want that revenge on Bud, for real. Truth be told, seriously. And people, you got to look at this too. It's a lot of y'all that's looking at these fights like automatic guarantee fights that person gonna win. Like, you know, with the Benavidez situation, you think it's gonna be straight based off what he did to Demetrius Andrade, but yet you ignore the fact he went 12 rounds with Caleb Plant. So just because he went in there and knocked out Andrade, you know, doesn't mean you ignore the fact that Plant was able to make it 12 rounds with Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? Canelo stopped Caleb Plant. Benavidez went the distance. So I don't know why y'all acting like it's a wrap. Like it's an automatic win for Benavidez just based off him stopping Andrade. Andrade is not a Canelo, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say that's the biggest fight just because he stopped Andrade. He stopped a fighter that wasn't even acclimated, who's possibly thinking about moving back down to 160, bro. Who put on all that muscle mass from whatever he was taking and it didn't work out. He didn't have the cardio train. He didn't have the freaking drive train, bro, to move for 12 freaking rounds with with David Benavidez. So when I say, one of the bigger fights is Terrence Crawford and Canelo, man, just look at it. Who's done Bud Crawford like that, like Benavidez did Andrade? Who? Spence didn't. Who had the better fight this year? Spence and freaking Crawford fight was better than any fight. We're talking about 2 pound for pound fighters. Don't just try to downgrade him now because he's been defeated. Look at the pound for pound status, bro. The pound for pound status. Real talk. Let me get to this chat right quick. I'm not sure if I want to see the Canelo we would see fighting Bud after fighting Benavidez. I would like Crawford to beat Canelo first if he can pull it off. Square biz. I agree with that. Because, listen, it's no fight. Okay, put it this way. We all know it's not going to be a fight or maybe a rematch in there somehow if Benavidez fight Canelo. For real, it may be a rematch. Why? Because Canelo would have taken his third loss with no rematches. He definitely at this point in his career want to ensure that there's a rematch in there so he can get his titles back, because it provides him the opportunity to go back to the drawing board and come back in there and be 2-time undisputed at super middleweight. It's a legacy in that rematch clause. It's legacy there, right? But then that's more time put off for Crawford, who's already up in age, waiting on the Canelo fight. So what makes sense is, Crawford, who they believe that is a smaller fighter, going in there to make that fight first. Because if Benavidez go in there with Canelo, and let's just say Canelo beat Benavidez, right? The fight with Crawford will be that much bigger. It'll be that much bigger. That's the plus to it. It'll be that much bigger if Canelo win. But if Benavidez win, it's definitely going to be a rematch clause in there. It's definitely going to be a rematch clause. And then you have to look at it like this. We don't know how entertaining the fight would be for either one of these guys. We don't know what the paperwork's going to say. We don't know what the stipulation, the rehydration clause. We don't know. Negotiations might take a little bit longer than expected, bro. But I think with Crawford, being that he agreed to everything with Spence early on, but yet they was just basically using him. You know what I'm saying? And I think about this often when I see him over there with PBC. I wonder how comfortable Crawford truly is over there. But anyway, he agreed to everything, right? Knowing that he was going to fight for net pay. So I don't see him having a tough negotiation period with Canelo. I think there's a common respect between them. Not so much like Jermell Charlo, who was pretty much just playing footsie, trying to play footsie with Canelo and shit, and be his best friend, and talk about coming over there. Can you teach me how to ride horses? I need some equine therapy and shit. So can I come over and see your horses? You know what I'm saying? I'm going through it with my brother. I need some equine therapy. Please give me that equine therapy, please. I want to go over there and brush your horses off. I heard you got one named Mr. Ed. Does he talk like the Mr. Ed on TV used to talk? He does? Oh, my God. That's going to be so wild to see. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Come on, man. Bud better stay the hell away from anybody 168 after that arse whooping Benavidez put on Andrade. I don't know why people are looking at comparing Bud to Andrade. Really? How can they compare Bud to Andrade? How can they compare the level of skill set and mass and size and strength and speed of a Benavidez who's been at the middleweight division so long to the point where he's lost it on the scales a couple of times? I mean, he's lost his title a couple of times, right? But yet you get somebody who's visiting the division and the door gets shut in their face. You know what I'm saying? They're looking to have a long-standing residence there. That shit got evicted quick. We don't know if he's gonna stay up there at 168 and fight another top name after that whooping. You know what I'm saying? The man didn't come out for the 7th round, bro. How much damage did he take? I don't see people screaming like, okay, I don't think Andrade should fight at 168 anymore. I don't see them saying like they was up here collaring Spence. Talking about, oh my God, he was wagering and everything. No, I don't see that. But his face was turning out to look just like Spence did when he was fighting Crawford. That's where the hiccup is. Somehow, some way, people are looking at Andrade like he was supposed to be this man who shakes up everything. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so you end up fighting the man who want to fight the man. Benavidez has been wanting to fight Canelo. They send you in there. Look, they send you in there to make a difference. And you couldn't do it, brother. You couldn't make a difference. Now, off the performance of Benavidez Andrade, people looking at Benavidez like, nah, Crawford need to stay away from the 160. Look, we all know it'll be a tough fight for Crawford fighting Benavidez. But he wants to fight Canelo. Canelo is not the biggest 68-pounder that we have, bro. It'll be much more of when we talking about equity when comparing the fighters with Crawford Canelo rather than Crawford Benavidez. We know that. But that doesn't mean it's going to turn out the way you think it's going to turn out. It may be more competitive than anyone would have thought. But also, you have to remember, people that's tuned in, remember this. He wants big money fights, bro. Everybody's calling for Canelo, but everybody can't get him because they don't bring anything to the table. And if he does select a fighter like Munguia, that's because he's choosing to select Munguia. If Bud fight at 147, better be Boots. Teal needs to fight Ryan or Shakur. I mean, Shakur is a champion at 135. So, I mean, what benefit would it be for Teal to fight Shakur Stevenson at 140? It'd be the same position. You know what I'm saying? Like, would it be a big pay-per-view fight? You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Teal and what he's accomplished in his short time as a multi-time world champion, he too wants the big money fights. He's getting the sponsorships outside the ropes, but he too wants the big money fights, bro. A lot of people just ignore that. Like, these fighters, they get to a certain point, they earned it. They want big money fights. Boxing don't have no retirement plan. They want big money fights. They want to do what Gervonta's doing. Point blank, period. Tank is making millions, and this dude said, I don't want that shit. Who else is doing that? I seen Wilder on the podcast today, man. It was a lot of talk. Wilder redeemed. I have to check out what you're talking about, who podcast that was. I respect Crawford, but this ain't small jump. 168, a solid, strong punch resistance division. I agree with that. 68 is a tough division, but how tough are you if you're not willing to take risks there? MKB, you know what I'm saying? How tough can you consider yourself to be if you're not willing to take risk? He's willing to take risks, bro. You know what I'm saying? He beat down a fighter that people thought that was better than him, bigger than him, you know what I'm saying, tougher than him. And, you know, he was just a better fighter, and he proved them wrong. Now people just want to erase it out their thought process. They want to do a motherfucking antivirus scan and make sure all the residue and malware and shit is all removed from that goddamn Crawford Spence buildup. They want to make sure they do a whole freaking service sweep. They want to do an in-depth scan, remove all cookies. We don't want any cookies that give us search increase about Crawford Spence. I ain't gonna lie, if I had to pick any fighter daring to be great, so to speak, I'm for sure betting on Bud. I think Bud could pull it off, no cap. Bud is nice in my eyes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would just like for Canelo to give him a shot. Forget Mel Charlo. Don't nobody want to do that shit, man. Don't nobody want to go in here and people talking about, you ain't did nothing and all that, and want to make negotiations all difficult. No, nobody want to go through that right now. Don't nobody want to hear that bitching and crying after you want to brag about, you about to fight Canelo, and shit, and I already did what he did, but yet you go in there and run the whole time. We was looking for you to bang out like you did with Tony Harrison. You had the eye of the motherfucking lion, bro. You was locked in when you was fighting to get your title back. They're gonna say Canelo the greatest boxer since Jack Johnson if he beats Bud. I'm like, watch your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you on to something, man. You on to something. I had Bud beating the shit out of Canelo. Hey, man, I just want the fight to happen. I just want them to come to a happy median where the money's right. The stage, everything. I understand that W says trust a different breed of boxer, be a heavier boxer's kryptonite, along with the skills that Canelo would have never seen in the ring. Yes, sir. We seen what Dimitri Bivol did to Zurdo, and I like Zurdo as a fighter, man. But Zurdo was at 168, over 40 professional wins, and then nobody really know who he was. And then he finally got the opportunity, to fight Dimitri Bivol, and he had a rougher go than Canelo, who was much smaller. I mean, Jesus, man, Bivol turned up. Bivol turned up on Zurdo, for real. And you was blowing my eye with them all caps, bro. I can hear the volume, Lord. Take it out, caps off. Oh, no, man. Hey, you got to tell somebody, hey, man, you have an option there to take, if the light is on. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's funny as shit, dog. Biggie Man Crawford gonna stop Canelo, in my opinion. That's what I'm talking about. We got some confident Crawford fans in him, man, want to see that fight. And then we have the Benavidez people, but it's all about the money. Crawford Canelo does more money than Benavidez does higher gate. You know what I'm saying? More money than Benavidez Canelo, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? This is my opinion, because he has a Mexican fan base that it needs more than it needs more than that, bro. Crawford's way more established than Benavidez. I like Benavidez, but Crawford's way more established, man. He has a better resume, and it's non-debatable. He's done more in boxing. He's a Hall of Famer as we speak. You can't say that about Benavidez right now. So when you talk about money, you're talking about, preparing this fight, going to negotiations. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Canelo want to go down too. He want to avenge that Floyd loss. The only way he can do that is fight freaking Crawford. Tio is not an active fighter to want big fights. Well, one thing I know, Tio stay active in the gym or whatever. So let's go back to what you just said, right? Okay. So let me pull this up right quick. And y'all hit the like button for me. Appreciate you. So Jessica said he's not an active fighter. So we still in 23, right? So we just had Mar Charlo come off a long layoff and look decent against Jose Benavidez, said Jessica. But you gotta understand, Tio fought at 140 June of this year. So he's only at about 6 months right now. Real talk. He's only about 6 months. So him not being inactive, and when he was in 2023, he had 2 fights in 22, right? 1 in 23, 1 in 22. I mean, 2 in 2022, and 1 in 2021. When you talk about the type of fights he had, though, those was big fights. He had Masayoshi Nakatani and Richard Comey in 19. He had Lomachenko in 2020. And then he had the first defense of his titles in 2021. And then he moved up a division after losing to Cambosis to fight Campa. And then Sandor Martin at 142 fights at 140. And then his third fight, he fought Josh Taylor. So you want to speak on activity or productivity? Because the activity mirrors up to the productivity, because when he gets back to the ring, it's always for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? It's always for a purpose. Him fighting for Pedro Campo at 140 for the North American Boxing Federation Super Light title, and also for the WBO International Super Light to set him up for fighting for Josh Taylor's title. So he did that, won, beat Sandor Martin, wasn't the best showing that we've seen. He won split decision. And then he fought Josh Taylor for the title. Now he's a 2-division champion. You know what I'm saying? So, activity versus productivity. His productivity brought him another championship at 140. That's productivity. That's progress right there. If we comparing brute power, I compare Crawford versus Canelo to Shields versus Marshall. ×3 for Savannah punch resistance compared to Canelo. But it's 12 rounds to break your opponent down. It's 12 rounds. It will be interesting. Did y'all hear Danny Garcia father talking shit about Crawford? Hey, when it come down to it, Niece, you know how that goes. Like when you have Lopez and you have Garcia, you know what I'm saying? They both talk a lot. You know what I'm saying? Danny Garcia didn't want no part of Crawford at 147, right? But now he's at 154 or whatever he's trying to do at 160. Of course, they want to, think about fighting Crawford now because he's a money fight. He's a big money fight. But Crawford ain't going to get nothing out of Danny Garcia. You know what I'm saying, at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's not a big money fight on pay-per-view. Real talk, truth be told. You know what I'm saying, Neezy? So, hey, he can talk all he want, but people are not paying to see Crawford versus goddamn Danny Garcia and see Danny Garcia get outboxed once again. No. We seen Keith Thurman outbox Danny Garcia and took his title. Come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on. Keith Thurman outboxed you. What smoke do you want for Crawford? Crawford had already beat Jose Benavidez. What do you want? You want a Christmas gift? What do you want, bro? Y'all, everybody wants to start calling out Crawford, calling out Crawfords. Mayday, mayday, calling all Crawfords. Everybody want that freaking that moment. And all this man wants is big money fights so he can goddamn retire from the sport and raise the young lines up. You know what I'm saying? Over there at B&B. So they can talk all they want, man, but these dudes ain't got no money, no value to offer on the super elite level when it comes to pay-per-view. They don't. Fuck what the fans want. The fans want to say, oh man, I just want to see if they can win. No, that's not the mindset of a fighter who's about to retire, who's 2-time undisputed. They don't care what the fans want when it comes to matchup. They care about what's gonna bring them the most money now. Just like Canelo. Canelo can pick and choose. He ain't gonna make much money off my gear. Guess what? It's gonna be kind of transparent because regardless of who he fight, he's gonna make money. So it don't matter to Canelo. He's gonna get paid regardless. Y'all saw that they all saying the same thing. They just wanna try to raise a brow, man, get the attention. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, man, dude is seasoned. Bud done heard what he heard. And all that little trash talking that's all of a sudden, what happened when they was at 147? I ain't hear all that. When Bud was in his town and $1 million worth of game called up Danny Garcia, guess what? You know what I'm saying? They called him up and said, hey, he said, you ain't fought nobody, you ain't did nothing. He said, he didn't do nothing at 147. He told him. He said, I lost some fights that I thought I won, though. So, okay. Crawford will have the entire Puerto Rican Philly population crying like they did for Berlanga and when Cepeda knocked out Vargas. They locked Bud up ASAP. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? That shit'll be vicious. I know you talking about Josue Vargas, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I remember that fight, real talk, but hey, that's boxing, man. But one thing I say about the Puerto Rican fan base, man, they be cheering and supporting their fighters, bro. That's one thing when you talking about the Mexican fan base, Puerto Rican fan base, they be supporting their fighter. God damn, they be supporting their fighter. I'm pretty sure they still support Edgar Berlanga after he bit his opponent in the clavicle. You know, Edgar Berlanga tried to become a cannibal, become the first cannibalistic boxer on live television. You know what I'm saying? In this modern era. You know, forget what Mike Tyson did. Mike Tyson was going for ears, you know, cartilage. Freaking Edgar Berlanga was going for entire trapezius and freaking clavicle bones. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He wanted to rip out freaking a whole trapezius. He wanted to bite down and see can he remove clavicle, the whole clavicle structure of a skeletal system. Like, what are you doing, brother? You know what I'm saying? People's like thinking about putting that scene in The Walking Dead. They thought this man had got down, he was on some shit and he was part Puerto Rican zombie and shit. This man tried to remove a whole clavicle, y'all, with a left pectoralis. He was trying to goddamn perform. Look, man. Dude was showing us, you know, what he learned from the rituals in the night. You know what I'm saying? He was showing us the dark side of it all when they gotta drink blood and something was going on, bro. He all of a sudden wanted to bite the man in his shoulder. That shit was crazy, bro. But man, y'all hold it down, man. Continue to support the channel, man. I'm about at 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever forget the Showsy Ozy Posey, man. You know what I'm saying? And T.O., you know what I'm saying? You do what you want to do, but always remember, this is absolutely what happened July 29th. You know what I'm saying? That's absolutely what happened. I'm just going to leave that right there because I think it's important for them to remember this, being that we're about to close out 2023. The fight that changed the entire game of boxing, especially social media. The fight that changed it all. I'm just gonna leave that right there for y'all. I know it's gonna be some people that you know just logged off just then. They closed down their screen and computer. They went to look at some televisions. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, they just don't want to see it. There's some people right here tossing furniture around and shit. You know what I'm saying? Grabbing the cat, slapping it for no reason. For real, beating a dog with the doggy bowl. The dog sitting there like, take me back to the vet. Take me back to the shelter, goddammit. I hate when every time you get on these boxing topics, you take it out on me. Take me back. The dog is saying, take me back to the shelter. At least in there, I got my own motherfucking room, and I don't have to worry about motherfuckers just beating me to death every time they talk about boxing. Fuck you. Take me back to the shelter. But man, y'all hold that shit down. Appreciate everyone for pulling up. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game, A-Side Official. You already know. Peace, man.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss. Now you counting stars. Should've practiced more. Should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports. subscribe.